Most people know the T-Rex, but while the T-Rex was ruling North America, something just as dangerous and arguably larger was doing the same thing on the other side of the world. This is the Giganotosaurus, and it has been waiting a long time to be talked about. The Giganotosaurus was discovered in 1993 in the Neuquén province of Patagonia, Argentina. A car mechanic and amateur fossil hunter named Ruben Carolini found the bones while driving through the desert. That discovery turned out to be one of the most significant paleontological finds of the 20th century. The fossils were remarkably well preserved, including a nearly complete skull, most of the spine, parts of the legs and arms, and even fragments of the jaw. This gave scientists enough material to study the animal in real detail, which is not always the case with large predators from this era. The species was named Giganotosaurus carolinii, the second part honoring the man who found it. It lived approximately 98 million years ago, during the Cenomanian stage of the late Cretaceous, which means it actually predates the T-Rex by around 30 million years. They never met. They never shared the same continent, but the comparison between the two has never stopped. The Patagonia we know today, dry, windy, and largely empty, looked nothing like it did 98 million years ago. Back then, it was a warm, humid environment covered in dense vegetation, crossed by wide rivers, and surrounded by a landscape that was constantly changing due to volcanic activity and shifting sea levels. This was Gondwana in its final stages of breaking apart. South America was slowly separating from Africa, creating new coastlines, new climates, and new ecosystems. The Giganotosaurus did not just inherit a territory, it inherited a world in transformation. The animals that shared this world with it were just as extreme. Argentinosaurus, its primary prey, was not alone. Other giant sauropods like Andosaurus and Lamesaurus roamed the same plains. Smaller theropods competed for lesser prey. Ancient crocodilians patrolled the rivers. And overhead, pterosaurs with wingspans of up to 9 meters crossed the skies. This was not a quiet world. It was loud, dense, and dangerous at every level. And at the top of all of it, there was only one animal in charge. The Giganotosaurus was big, very big. Estimates place it between 12 and 13 meters in length, which puts it on par with or slightly longer than the largest known T-Rex specimens. In terms of pure length, it is one of the largest land predators ever discovered. However, length is not everything. The Giganotosaurus was more lightly built than the T-Rex. It was longer but leaner, with a narrower body and a different overall structure. The T-Rex was heavier and more robust. So while the Giganotosaurus may have been longer, the T-Rex likely outweighed it significantly, with estimates putting the Rex at up to 14 metric tons compared to around 8 for the Giganotosaurus. Its skull was actually longer than the T-Rex's, reaching up to 1.8 meters in some estimates. But the shape was different. Where the T-Rex had a wide, reinforced skull built for crushing, the Giganotosaurus had a longer and narrower head, more similar to other large theropods like the Carcharodontosaurus of Africa. The teeth of the Giganotosaurus were sharp and blade-like, designed for slicing rather than crushing. This is a key difference from the T-Rex. Where the Rex used brute force to destroy bone, the Giganotosaurus used its teeth to cut through flesh and cause massive blood loss in its prey. Two very different strategies, both extremely effective. Its main prey was likely Argentinosaurus, one of the largest dinosaurs ever to walk the earth. We are talking about an animal that could reach 30 to 40 meters in length and weigh up to 80 tons. The fact that the Giganotosaurus hunted something that size tells you everything you need to know about what kind of predator it was. There is evidence suggesting that Giganotosaurus may have hunted in groups, which would explain how a single species could consistently bring down prey so much larger than itself. Fossil sites have been found where multiple individuals appear together, though whether this represents cooperative hunting or simply feeding at the same carcass is still debated. So, how does it compare to the T-Rex? The honest answer is that it depends on what you value. The Giganotosaurus was longer and possibly faster, with longer legs built for covering ground. The T-Rex had a more powerful bite, better senses, a larger brain relative to body size, and a heavier, more durable build. The T-Rex bite force has been measured at up to 57,000 newtons. The Giganotosaurus, based on skull structure, is estimated to have bitten with considerably less force. Its skull simply was not built for that kind of pressure, but it did not need to be. Its strategy was different. In terms of intelligence, the T-Rex also appears to have had the advantage, with a more developed brain structure and significantly better smell and vision. The Giganotosaurus brain was long and narrow, not unlike a banana in shape, which suggests more limited cognitive ability compared to its North American counterpart. But the Giganotosaurus was hunting Argentinosaurus. The T-Rex never faced anything remotely close to that size. Judging these two animals only against each other ignores the very different worlds they lived in. The Giganotosaurus carolinii was found by a man driving through the Patagonian desert with no formal training in paleontology. One discovery changed everything we thought we knew about the largest predators to ever live. There are likely animals just as significant still buried out there, waiting for being discovered. This has been Fossils of Today, where the past is not dead, it is just buried. Thanks for watching.